I'm here with Andy Barham, who's running for Greene County Sheriff on the Republican ticket. Andy, first off, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm the youngest of three children born to Kenneth Barham and Linda Cox Barham. I graduated from Greenville High School, and I currently have a little over 24 years of experience in law enforcement. I started here in 1997 with the Sheriff's Department. Then my career took me to the streets of Knoxville for the Knoxville Police Department, where I worked in many roles as a patrol officer, school resource officer. I also worked gang and narcotics investigations and also repeat offenders, and I was on the training staff as a firearms instructor.
So why have you decided to run for election?
I decided to run after moving back and talking to citizens and hearing their concerns, and a lot of their concerns and the things that I saw were things that I've dealt with throughout my career and my diverse background. So when I started gaining some momentum, I decided the best way to give back to the community was to run for office, and the problems that I saw, I didn't feel like I could complain about them unless I was willing to throw my name in the hat and fix them.
And so what do you think is the biggest issue that Greene County is facing at this current time?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question. There's a few problems. Number one, the drug problem. The drug problem is increasing and only getting worse, and it's gotten worse since I've been back. We have people freely sitting in parking lots and doing their drugs or shooting up, as I would say, and that's a problem to me. We don't need our citizens and kids seeing that. Also, the theft problem is huge, which is directly related to narcotics and the drug trade. And a ever-growing problem now is human trafficking, and human trafficking is something that I have experience in with dealing with and investigating.
So what are your plans if you are elected?
Well, ultimately, I have my own plans. I've campaigned from day one on bringing in programs to change the overall lifestyle and outlook of offenders. We have to change the revolving door of the jail. And I've campaigned on Celebrate Recovery and Strong Futures, which are great programs. We have to have a faith-based program for that to really sink in and to help with the drug problem and to change people's hearts and minds and souls. I've campaigned on those. They're great. I want to implement those and bring them in even further. And also job skills training, life skills training, and job placement for some of the people that are still incarcerated that can work. And one of the biggest issues when people approach a date to get out are paying fines and costs, etc. So if they're working and we're putting that into account that they can't touch, then when they get out, they have some money to pay fines and costs, and they also have a little bit of startup money so they don't have to go back to whatever their trade of choice that supported their habit before.
And is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
Yes, sir. I just want everybody to remember, you'll hear a lot about the importance of experience. I have some of the most diverse experience and diversified background of any candidate that's in recent date. I've spent 24 years or a little over 24 years in law enforcement, and I have served in many roles myself. And working in Knoxville and spending 7.5 of my 10 years with Knoxville Police Department working in housing developments has really brought to light the need for change in working with diverse backgrounds, cultures, etc. So when you hear of the need for and to remember experience, I want you to remember diversified experience is the best way. And as your sheriff, I will combat theft, drugs, and human trafficking. I will be a sheriff for the people, elected by the people to serve the people of our community and be a voice. It's not just my department, it's our department, and I want to be that voice for the people.
That was Andy Barham, who is running for Greene County Sheriff on the Republican ticket.